welcome back. We're on air. My voice hasn't recovered.
It's
but I'm
dying.
still ready to go. And it is my pleasure to once again to introduce the real returning player, the real returning
Oh,
member that everyone really
shade.
wants to see, DomBearmoth. Welcome to the cast.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here. Excited to be back. I'm ready. I'm so ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go rest my voice after these 2 games. We've got 2 more games to bring tonight. The show must go on, and the first one is our match of the week: Lost Nations up against Bond's boosting. Is it Bond Beef Service? Bond boosting service, I think it is. So yeah, really interesting match. We're gonna have a quick look at the rosters, and you're going to see why this match is so interesting once we go over to them. We have Mimi Slime, Immortal Anguish, up in the top lane for Lost Nation. Rickert needs no introduction for jungle. Zoltar gets member after get disbanded. Like, I honestly, playing in the mid lane, did roll sorts of AD carry for last season, back in the mid lane. ADC, play massive, that's maybe the one name we expect to see on Lost Nation, and Kowal from Immortal Anguish on support. Whereas for Bond's boosting stuff, we have so we have QmasterQ, GG Bond, and SmokeMasterWeed for Lost. Wait, no, they're not for Lost Nate. They're for Bond's boosting service. Was there some sort of fracture in the team? It looks like it, because these 3 players have gone off to form their own squad and gotten in the bot lane of Thunder B2 and Alpăka to get them through the game. And honestly, we are also in draft right now. Sorry, it's a little bit late.
A shame.
TK, Akali and Ashe banned out, whereas we have Volibear first picked, and Lee Sin, Seraphine, Gale banned out. We didn't quite realize draft was happening. I will just let you actually see this quickly.
Okay, but why is Kale banned though? Because I'm aware that it's Rickert. I get it. Funny, Rickert.
That's actually so true. You're right.
But I guess they were just scared of the Kale jungle tech.
But we do see, speaking of jungle tech, we do see Qiyana coming out for BBS here, which is a GG Bond special. I wonder if we'll see an Azir picked up here on 3 for SmokeMasterWeed. They love this combo. Super strong together. Renata as well, the option. Misfortune maybe going to be the answer here for Lost Nation. Something that can support the Volibear dive, but I really like this one too, coming out from BBS, as Braum picked up here with the Misfortune. Usually you see that as a denial pick.
There it is.
It does pick Renata wave, and there's the Azir.
Wow, okay, so yeah, we saw this last season, but the Qiyana Azir jungle mid combo obviously utilizes the fact that Azir's soldiers create a wall, Qiyana then ults the enemy into the soldiers, that creates the stun around the Azir wall, and it's a lot of burst damage very quickly. It's a really cool combo. Problem with it slightly is that obviously Qiyana is seeing less priority in the jungle at the moment. It's a little bit more difficult to get online as it was previously after some of the nerfs, but still I think GG Bond's good enough that they can overcome those problems, I think. And now we see the second round of bans come through. Kassadin and now Victor being the hover for BBS are really targeting that mid lane now, trying to get rid of some of these picks that maybe will use the fact that Azir has a fairly is a sort of late game scaler, doesn't have too much kill pressure, and so they're trying to remove some of the responses that Lost Nation could have that Zoltar would pick up to just scale up alongside him and then become a big threat.
And we might see, I think the Victor ban here also provides a 7+, as I realized that draft is actually frozen on screenshot. So we see a Victor ban and we see a Jhin ban coming through as Ezreal, the final hover here for BBS. That's another champ that can play backwards in these team fights. You know, Volibear diving forwards, Braum needs to get in melee range. Ezreal very good against both of those, will be the lock-in. Azir, Ezreal, Renata, a very strong peeling core.
Yes, I mean, Ezreal Renata isn't a bot lane that you see too often. It's not like massively combo-y, but it's still very, very safe. Will do absolutely fine, and then Renata late game has those ultimates that are just so powerful and so useful as the response, therefore, with the Victor and the Kassadin off the table is still going to be scaling by the hovers so far. Corkie, actually something that hasn't been banned out, but has seen a lot of prio in like pro play, and no.
That's a blind Renekton. Actually, don't you haven't been watching enough LS recently. Have you seen the Renekton buffs? he rates Renekton, and I think
Does
Renekton
he?
actually pretty decent. Yeah, because they gave him a really huge buff on his ult. It's like 10% per second AD damage, which means you've
Okay.
got a pretty good time. We'll be suffering into a Vayne if that's what's picked up, or a Darius. It does give you a lot more scaling on the Renekton now, but Darius can match the early dueling power and also be a monster in these late game team fights. Instead, it's going to be the Gangplank coming in here
Ooh,
on
okay.
5 for BBS.
Yeah, no. I'm sort of glad. Well, I'm glad the Gangplank has come through as the response. I think it's going to be very powerful into that Renekton. Obviously, Renekton having one form of CC is very good for the Gangplank because he can just oranges that one away. Will have a pretty decent time up there. Might get a little bit bullied early, but is going to theoretically be able to scale up pretty well. And I mean, we even saw last game. Gangplank can just be incredibly powerful, does an insane amount of damage. The ult is such a good zoning tool. There's so much positive stuff to say about Gangplank. But on the other side, we've got some pretty good tools there. I like the blind Volibear. I think it still works pretty well, and Volibear is quite a scary jungler. Definitely against something like Qiyana that maybe is going to struggle to clear just a little bit, and maybe looking to scale up a little bit more. You've got quite strong presence in that bot lane with the Misfortune Braum and a really nice scaling pick in the Corkie. That late game, those packages are going to come online, give you that really good, fight around those objectives. So I really like what's come out from both teams, to be completely honest.
I think both teams do have a lot of strengths. One point I do want to make is that BBS, they have some very good tools to fight at range and fight backwards, right? And Volibear and
Yeah.
Renekton, they kind of have one mode. Gangplank, if Volibear and Renekton are trying to get in, through a Gangplank ult, through an Azir wall, through a Renata hostile takeover, through even a Qiyana ult, it's so incredibly difficult. So I think actually, Lost Nation do have some opportunities. Misfortune can tear through a fight, but I think the ult's less effective when players don't have to stack up in one small cone to be effective, like when they're not running towards you. But I do think Corkie has a lot of value for Lost Nation in this comp, right? There's a lot of poke champs, the Ezreal and Azir, and Corkie is one of those champs that can fire back with that poke, right? Those missiles, so incredibly strong, and there's not a lot of tank coming out from BBS, which means every single one of those missiles is going to hurt.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the Corkie counterpick. Having seen the Azir and seen what's then banned away, I think Corkie was a really nice little lock in there, and does um, provides what Gangplank provides for BBS for Lost Nation in terms of that, a lot of damage and zone control from this one sort of big ability around the team fights, and scales up really nicely. But yeah, the one thing that I think I agree with you and I'm mostly worried about is the fact that if a Renekton and a Volibear get sort of zoned away by Gangplank ult, thrown away by a Renata, or have to back off because of a Renata ult, get chucked away by an Azir ult, that's kind of their one mode of engage gone, and they end up kind of stuck in no man's land, and they're not really sure where to go, and maybe they're getting like slowed down, and that's when you can see those kind of champions being a little bit useless. And I think Lost Nation do have to be careful that that doesn't happen. But then that being said, Volibear and Renekton is a very powerful early game duo, especially once Volibear gets hold of the level 6. I would be very unsurprised to see Volibear then head towards that top tower, shut down that tower with the level 6, and look for some sort of dive with the Gangplank.
Yeah, I'd like to see the two furry daddies get it on in the top lane,
Right.
basically. It's what you're trying to say, I think. Gangplank obviously does have a little bit of vulnerability in this early laning phase. So, holistically, which comp would you say comes out ahead? Because, I mean, obviously, Lost Nation has a lot of advantages, right? You've got the Renekton, you've got some early power with this Volibear, you've got Misfortune can do a lot of work in these fights. But I think, personally, BBS have a little bit more in the tank, a little bit easier time playing out these fights. Their damage not so conditional, but then again, that's what I've said about the past two teams. And the team with the high skill cap just not quite in the second game, but smashed through the team with the big team fight wombo combo. So maybe I'll be wrong, but I give the draft in at the moment at least over to BBS.
Yeah, I think the one thing about the BBS comp is that maybe it's just I just haven't watched Digibon like lately, and therefore I don't have the faith. I'm not. I don't know how well the Qiyana jungler can.
Are you a doubter? Are you a doubter?
I don't want to.
Oh,
A little bit. Basically, the point is,
so everyone, just so Dom,
no.
everyone knows, Dom clearly thinks that there's absolutely no hope that Qiyana will do it. Obviously not.
No,
obviously not. But
obviously,
they will have
yeah.
a difficult time playing out this game.
Right, and but then I do believe that GG Bond will, that is very much a comfort pick for them, and like, if anyone I think could do it, it is them. But then I need to sort of see that working well, and then if it does work well, I think I definitely do side with BBS. But we'll have to see who does come out on top, as I do believe we're going to go to a quick break before we get into this. I was about to say first game because it's the first game for me, but it's the third game of the day between Lost Nation and BBS. Yeah, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone, and we are back on the Rift for game 3 of the night. Lost Nation versus BBS. Who's going to come out with the victory? Can BBS, you know, prove that they deserve to be separate from Lost Nation, or will Lost Nation punish those who deigned to leave their ranks?
We'll see. I mean, so we didn't have too much time to quickly just sort of talk about. Actually, we don't even have time now because this looks like a little bit of a cheeky invade.
Alpăka, maybe you should be looking at your screen, bro. Hit with the Q, stunned up. That's it. First blood over to Mimi Slime, making a statement. And this game, actually, over to Rickert on the Volibear. Sorry, I just forgot Rickert was in this game.
See, this is what I mean. It's like we hadn't actually talked about the fact that it is gets Zoltar, formerly from the bot lane last season, in the mid lane now for Lost Nation. Rickert, like famed Gale mid player.
Rickert with the first. Rickert even more surprising with the first blood in the game. Things are all upside down, but still comes out positive for Lost Nation there.
Yes.
The first one, the Volibear does accelerate you. Able to pick up those boots. That's actually a pretty big buy in the jungle. Really speeds up your clear and really speeds up your ganks as well with this bear.
Certainly does. It was a really nice recognition as well that you had a Braum and you had a Volibear who could. Actually, Volibear didn't start queuing, what am I saying? But you had the Braum. Braum's passive at that level 1 is incredibly powerful. You see a lot of teams going for invades when they have the Braum on their team, and Alpăka just not quite respecting that, gets taken down. And yeah, you're right, that is going to help Rickert's clear speed a lot, which is going to be very, very useful considering that we're expecting Rickert on this Volibear to be a bit of the kind of the playmaker in these early stages.
Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
to
no,
say
that felt odd. I'm sorry.
Still, obviously, has a lot of lane space towards. If you can pass that towards Mimi Slime, punish QmasterQ on this Gankplank. Could do a lot of good work. Level 2 hit first though for the Gankplank. Mimi Slime eating a lot of damage in these trades. Just pushing Q on them. Point and click gameplay means that Gankplank's going to get a little bit ahead in this lane.
It's an interesting. That's a W start as well for Mimi Slime on the Renekton, which
it was for the invade.
Of course, it was for the invade. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That makes a lot more sense. But it does mean that QmasterQ has been able to punish that a lot more than they potentially were going than the Renekton would like. As now, just some little bit of trading. I think. Okay, Volibear has now pathed up towards that top side, so they don't have to worry about any kind of dive from the Volibear, but still, you know, it's something you have to keep your eyes on as
nice
now. GG
Bomb there from QmasterQ, by the way. Realizing that they were in a difficult position. They got the level 3 crash, not going to get ganked by Rickert, but looking towards the mid lane instead. Won't be able to find anything.
Yeah, that is good. It depends. Actually, QmasterQ is sitting in base, or I'm not
waiting for the Sheen,
sure.
Obviously.
Yeah, I think they
got the longsword.
They bought the longsword, and then they bought the longsword. I swear, then sold it, and then decided, no, I'm just gonna buy the longsword and left. But that was a really nice base, but that was a lot of time wasted.
Had still lost a lot of minions as well, but look, on the bot side, GG Bond is looking for that invade. Top lane, it's a bit of a cross-map invade here. Crabs will be given over for both players. I don't know if QmasterQ spots it out as well, but Bond looking towards this bot lane, and the two furries, as we said, looking towards the top lane. But with the wave under the turret, QmasterQ should be very, very safe.
Yeah, you would expect so. I mean, quite a lot of these lanes really are relatively safe. You think about, you know, what they can do is Qiyana cancels the... no, is still going to base. It slightly caught me out there by cancelling the base. I was wondering if they're going to go for anything, but
they cancelled
you know,
it,
even
wasting so much
even
time.
there,
Look at how many camps are respawning.
Oh, You have to be really careful because now Rickert is on the way. If they get
with the
caught
Lucy
out,
boots.
oh, okay.
Bond, what are you doing, man? You can't stick around this long in the bot lane looking for the gank. Do land the pool. Can they make anything of it? No. They get the flash out from Play Massive, but that's a lot of time for nothing.
That is not worth. Like this is sort of what I was gonna say before. I got baited like 5 times by GG Bond, but you're just not gonna be able to. You know, you got the flash, that's great, but that's all you were ever going to get from that kind of play when you have a champion that's so good at disengaging like Braum. That just does not feel worth at all, and you see now having, you know, GG Bond has base, but Rickert was able to base pick up the Lucidity boots thanks to, you know, the gold from that first blood, and already has a 10 CS advantage, and right now is even invading GG Bond's jungle, so right now...
Dark Seal as well.
The Dark Seal is a bit of a Chad move, I'm not gonna lie. There's a nice little Q there from Mimi Slime. As...
Looking for a fight up in the top lane. The damage is down. Root is there. Rickert is in the area. Nice Bond. Push them away into the middle of their team. It's a 2 versus 4. Corkie on their way. So is Misfortune. Kowal forced to flash away. Play Massive in the area. No level 6 means that Misfortune is significantly weaker than she might be. Dash forward. SmokeMasterWeed has that Emperor's Divide. Pushes back Kowal. And oh my lord. Play Massive gets caught as well. GG Bond finally gets some kills.
Wow. There it is. SmokeMasterWeed already proving why that Azir is just, well, not to be trifled with, very much a thing that we saw them playing last season. Brought it out immediately in this first game in this new season, and that was just a really nice Emperor's Divide there. 2 kills over to Qiyana. So already I was talking about, you know, at the beginning of the draft, I wasn't sure what the Qiyana was going to manage to get done. Well,
2 kills.
Now has 2 kills
with Dark as well. Going to be going for that damage build, which you kind of need to go on the assassins these days since the durability patch.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, 2 kills, down a little bit of CS, but now able to match Rickert with a very sad Dark Steel in his inventory. And you got to think, what do you think was going through Lost Nation's head, leaving up both these signature picks? I've got it in my notes, right? I've got it underlined 3 times: the Qiyana jungle and the Azir mid. And we know Play Massive played with these guys. He knows how these top side likes to draft. What do you think, I don't know, made him feel like this wasn't going to be a threat?
I guess
maybe it's, I don't know, is it overconfidence? Is it some sort of ego wanting to beat your teammates at their game?
I mean, I would felt, you know, hang on, Rickert is going towards the top.
Flash, double flash forward. Doesn't have the oranges, going to be able to survive. Maybe Slime eats up a lot of damage on that turret. Rickert, no Stormbringer here, means there's going to be no dive onto QmasterQ. Very lucky to make it out of that one.
Yeah, that was a little bit early from Rickert. I was expecting level 6 to come online before they decided to do that.
Oh no, Bond is in the area. Rickert looking for more oranges. Are they up yet? I don't think so. Damage is down. It is enough. And despite GG Bond getting some gold from that first strike, kill goes over to Rickert once again.
Well, I guess I was right.
Wait,
Rickert just turns around, hits level 6 as GG Bond. Level 5.
Maybe in a bit of danger of resetting. Rickert on the prowl, looking for it. Oh my lord. How many times has GG Bond counted their back this game? Must be about 3 minutes worth almost. Gosh.
Well, yeah, this is the thing, is actually they are sticking around. GG Bond's gonna head towards the tower, but Rickert still has ultimate, I believe, so...
Does have the plant, so they can survive, but no level 6 here. I wonder how close they are. The stun comes out, Rickert hits the ult. Will mean that they survive a little bit longer. Flash under the turret, GG Bond will fall, but so Rickert won't actually. On the backside, survives on an inch of health. Nice dive there by Lost Nation.
Wow, yeah, really, really nice dive there from Lost Nation. I was a little bit scared because obviously Qiyana can go invisible using, you know, using the grass version of the Q, but here, QmasterQ, just, I mean, that's pretty decent trading going on there. I mean, already Mimi Slime is on, you know, is 101, has a really nice selection of items there. And so when, you know, we were talking about what Lost Nation needed, is I was talking about going towards this top lane and using the early power of the Volibear and the Renekton, and that's exactly what they've done. And that is a really, really nice lead that they have built for themselves in that top lane. As now, it's a little bit ping-pongy, you know, Rickert initially did really well, and then
wasn't able to quite find it. But look at the inventory. Talk about lead. Mimi Slime now has that walk. which I think is the meta item to go on Renekton right now. It's very, very strong on every solo lane duelist, and QmasterQ with just components for an Essence Reaver needs to be really scared up towards this top side of the map. I think Renekton can just jump on you and kill you, especially when you have no flash. But speaking of jumping and killing, Alpăka finds the engage, the wall will fall, but Berserk forces play massive. Well, Kowal back towards play massive. Bond not quite with the reach, unable to find the engage.
Okay, so that was pretty close, but even though they don't get any kills, they are going to have to back up the towers now.
That's disgusting!
Oh, no.
That's like a crocodile fighting a guy in real life. Mimi Slime almost falls, but will be able to survive. Q heal up off this minion wave. Bond not in the area means there's no risk of death. Nicely done there by Mimi Slime.
Yeah, it was really good. Part of this new meta, I've learned, if you can build Blade the Ruin King, just do. It seems to be that powerful as now GG Bond is looking for something on Rickert here.
Oh no, that's just a one-man ult committer with the rest of the Lost Nation bot lane coming down and a package Zoltar on the way. I think the entirety of BBS have to back off here. Rickert looking for it. The smite comes down, Arcane Shift. Thunderbee is safe, but Alpăka is separated off from the rest. Taken out. He won't be bailed out on this one. Bond getting run down by Rickert, able to dash away, looking for more. Stormbringer is there. The ult from Misfortune picks up Thunderbee. 2 for nothing in the bot lane. While top lane is struggling as well.
Yeah, it's all coming up Lost Nation right now. That's another good selection of kills. Drake is now spawning in just a few seconds. That could be what they look to go towards next. They, at the very least, are going to clear out a lot of the vision that have been set up. They'll force SmokeMasterWeed away from this tower. As, ooh, GG
I don't
Bond.
think you can get on this on
Okay.
GG Bond, I'm going to be honest. But look how
It's
much...
now,
this is the most miserable Gankplank
QmasterQ,
I've
man.
ever seen.
This is why you
even have
don't play bot, don't play top. You just don't do it.
Well, Bond looking for the engage, gets blown up before the dragon falls. Smite by Rickert. Doesn't even need it. Flash away from Alpăka, and it's just coming up everything. Lost Nation, as you said, forced back into the barrel, so Mimi Slime, they're very strong. Did stun a minion, means they are going to fall. Almost kills QmasterQ. Maybe if they'd stunned him, it would have been enough. But still, at least BBS gets something on the opposite side of the map. Now they're looking for more on the bot lane as well. Kowal kind of low, but no handshake from Alpăka means they'll just walk it out, and there'll only be that kill on the top.
Yeah, so I mean, a good pick up onto Mimi Slime that is going to help QmasterQ a bit. Picks up a couple of plates, is able to CS without the immediate threat of death. Actually, just be able to CS in general, because you saw there, Mimi Slime was very much just proxying waves in front of that top lane tower. More plates are just being bullied out of Lost Nation's bot lane. It's quite a sort of pokey and annoying bot lane duo to deal with, the Ezreal and the Renata, and they've done a pretty good job of getting a 10 CS advantage, getting those plates, but it's slightly outweighed by what Lost Nation have managed to do in that top lane. You know, you look at Rickert already 3-0 and 3. Was that 7 stacks on the Dark Seal as well?
Bonker S looking to get
no.
the knight here. QmasterQ, more like QQ at this point. Rickert leaves the kill, still picks up 9 stacks.
9
looking
stacks.
for that 10.
Upgrade to that Mage Ice, I swear, please. I want to see. I want to see the Mage Ice.
I want to see the Mage Ice second item Rickert jungle.
Just
tell me that-
decide that you're just gonna carry. You just go Mage Eyes, Nashers. Maybe at some point swap out the tank item for a Rift Maker. You just go full Trick 2G builds.
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly. I mean, they're both bears, right? So it does kind of work.
Wow, unbelievable. As now first turret does go down. Again, I don't think that there hasn't been a Herald taken. That has just been brute force. I'm pretty sure. You know, which that's just so much gold for this Renekton. As now Thunderbee could be in.
Well,
No,
who's
it's
in
just gonna-
trouble? Hold on,
Yeah.
maybe. Easy Bond in the area. The flash, the ult does connect onto both. The ult comes out from the Ezreal, but there's not enough damage coming through. Bond, Thunderbee just a little bit too far behind. Cannot burst play massive. Alpăka and SmokeMasterWeed, they're looking for the dive, but the Herald in the mid lane is uncontested. This gets at least 2 charges, and QmasterQ is having once again a miserable time up top. Sure, you get the tier 1 turret here. Maybe you pick up a kill onto Braum or onto... Yeah, just to kill onto Braum, not onto Misfortune, but you lose out all across the map. You lose one, you're gonna lose two, you're gonna lose maybe a top lane. QmasterQ walks mid lane, nice one, under turret, shut down to the Gankplank. Zoltar kiting back, has a lot of damage, not enough though. QmasterQ lives, massive turn by the Azir.
SmokeMasterWeed is like, it's so weird that they've been having these really a sort of quiet game and that you don't see a lot of them, and then they just casually stroll over and like, yeah, I'm just gonna two-man Emperors to fight you and just get these insane kills and shutdowns in that, you know, case. That is absolutely massive for BBS. That's, you know, you look at the gold lead and it's now less than 1,000 when it should be a lot more than that, and now GG Bond.
We'll be able to leave.
Okay, it's a
little
bit
that was a little bit, yeah, I'm not quite sure what you were doing there. Maybe GG Bond also hasn't seen GG Bond's Qiyana in a while in the jungle. But I respect him for wanting to go for these picks, right? You feel like you have to do something as Qiyana. You've got your one item power spike, and that is honestly when Qiyana is strongest. Maybe you feel like you can look for the assassination on to play massive, but since the durability patch, it just becomes so much harder. And with a Braum standing next to him, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Braum is going to make it very difficult. You know, Misfortune actually is deceptively difficult to kind of shut down with that Eclipse build, and it looks like it's going for the plated as well. And then obviously your top side, your kind of front line for Lost Nation are really quite far ahead. I'm not sure how well the Qiyana is going to manage, although having said that, we've already seen 2 examples of SmokeMasterWeed just with insane Emperor's Divide. So, you know, there is always that possibility of that kind of a combination coming in, at which point, you know, if it hits onto the right people, I think Lost Nation will die very quickly. But now Corkie has that package in preparation for this third Drake that is spawning. It is going to be the Mountain, as now both teams hovering around that objective and trying to clear out that vision.
Looking to try and get the fight. Mimi Slime walking in. Kowal play massive. Rickert pops that chem tank, but doesn't have a dash over the wall. SmokeMasterWeed makes it out. Both teams are trying to get into this Drake. Vision secured here for Lost Nation. They're going to start it up, but look, Gankplank is on the flank. QmasterQ with these barrels. How much work can you get done? None if you shoot the Renekton instead. Just not that fed. 2 crit cloaks still. Puts the ult down on the Dragon for some vision. Flash forwards. Massive ult by Rickert. Ult in by Zoltar. Trying to prevent damage. Something to be instantly blown up. SmokeMasterWeed dashing away, forced away. GG Bond still alive. That's not cool down. QmasterQ finds play massive. Finds the carry. They'll die. Zoltar will fall as well. Lost Nation overcommits into the jungle of BBS. How much more can they get? Alpăka flashes away. Dash forwards by Mimi Slime. But Bond says Kowal. Mimi Slime flashes at the turret. Not enough damage. Gonna end up falling after picking up the Q kill. I thought he would die, but Rickert is in the area. Bond very low. SmokeMasterWeed unafraid dives in. Bond on a killing spree, and BBS find the fight.
So, such an extended and scrappy fight there. It's just so much going on all at once. Also, the fact that QmasterQ is able to just solo kill play massive, despite having been so badly just bullied out of this entire game, I think was testament to, that kind of.
Are you gonna talk about the power level of AD carry?
I wasn't. No, I was.
I just felt like you were gonna transition into that point.
My point is that the most useless really member of BBS at the time is GG Bond is.
Well, you're not very useful if you're dead. GG Bond is ignited. They have to dash over the wall. The sun not coming through. But yeah, you make the point. QmasterQ does still have 2 crit cloaks. That is actually a lot of damage.
I like that. I was really scared when I saw the Essence Reaver, that because obviously it means that you only have like 20% crit, and if you're behind, then it means that you're not going to be sacking up that crit for anytime soon, because often you go for your mythic second, and then the mythic is either like Prowler or Eternity a lot of the time, which isn't crit, so then you don't have a lot of crit. But instead they've gone for, they've immediately then gone for the double crit cloak, so that you know, you're not rolling this 20% chance every single time you hit a barrel, which aren't very good odds. It's now, you know, a lot better. It's you know, more like that kind of like, you know, 50-50 chance that crit lands. And yeah, so I'm happy with what QmasterQ has gone for there, and has the shutdown gold as 4-3-3 as Mimi Slime.
Wow, Mimi Slime so powerful. There it is. It's the Blunt Force Trauma combo. SmokeMasterWeed separates Rickert, and Mimi Slime does get dove on the Alpăka in the area. Flash away. SmokeMasterWeed having the game of a season in game 1 does get taken out though. Mimi Slime also putting on an impressive performance. Alpăka The W misses. No way does the Renekton get away with this, dodging out from the Q. Has the rage, has the Q, the heal, triple kill. It's Renekton. I cast the curse. That's so bad. In a 4v2 in the top lane, it's Lost Nation that come out on top.
Wow, that Renekton play was absolutely insane. These fights, they feel like they could go either way every single time at any moment. SmokeMasterWeed there, I think, just stepping forward slightly too far, gets caught by Mimi Slime, and that sort of started that kind of snowball that allowed them to pick up those 3 kills. Really nicely done there. Has gone for that tank mythic as well, which I quite like that pickup, especially when you don't have that kind of tank on your team. I mean, clearly was put to good use there in that fight. It doesn't look like Lost Nation are going to get too much in terms of objectives or towers out of it, but you get kills, and that's important. You get gold, right?
Your number goes up, and what could be better than that?
Right, that's the score, right? That's how you win, is having the higher number than the opponent.
Obviously, though, on a more serious note, they have been able to reclaim vision control around this bot lane. Dragon spawning in a little bit, but having vision means you can siege up on this final outer tower for BBS. If you can get this down, it gives you a lot more control around this Drake pit. Look at those missiles. Thunder Bee dashing away. No more dashes. The ult comes out from Rickert. Alpăka with the bailout. Not going to be enough. Does have that hostile takeover if Lost Nation want to go for more, but it doesn't look like they do.
Okay, nice little catch there. They are going to get the bot tower in response. They're trying to take away some of this vision as well as the buffs as well. So, yeah, Lost Nation continuing to get some advantages here. As I'm so scared when I see SmokeMasterWeed just like hovering around. I'm like, oh, he could. I mean, you know, the Shadow Flames come online. There's going to be a lot of damage when SmokeMasterWeed really commits to that and goes for that big play. So it's. I think Lost Nation do definitely have the advantage at the moment, but BBS are certainly not out of the fight right now.
I mean, Lost Nation do have the advantage, but I just had a look at Rickert's inventory. I'm so sad. From 10 stacks down to 2.
Oh.
Rickert, notoriously, obviously known for his strong early games, falling off towards the mid and late game, having a little bit more of a difficult time. But that is the nation of the champion Volibear, right? Obviously, you are still going to be useful. You do like these movement speed items to be able to find those engages, be a big pool of stacks, but you're not going to be 1v9ing in the same way a Renekton might be, you know, but like, or a Viego might be in these fights. But the dragon is spawning. Volibear does give you a lot of priority, a lot of easy engages in these fights. Emperor's Divide, though, going to become more and more troublesome as the game goes on.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, you've got good scaling on both sides, though, with this Corkie as well. That has also had, you know, Zoltar's had a bit of a quieter game, but you know, if the package gets picked up and lands in, you know, in a nice way, that is just really devastating. A ton of damage and zone control.
I feel
same
so
with
bad for QmasterQ. Sorry to interrupt you, but
yeah,
he's just not tickling the Renekton, man. The plated steel caps, the Sunfire kit, which is what seems to be the better buy at the moment. Just so strong on this Renekton. But SmokeMasterWeed in the area, they're actually going to surrender this dragon. They realize they don't necessarily need the soul point. They're not in the best condition to contest, and they're instead going to go for the Baron.
Ooh,
It's
okay, Baron.
Yep.
Yeah, Baron Rush could be pretty. I mean, if BBS ever
They might
decide
go
to
for Thunder Bee instead. That's not where you want to be dashing assassination onto the AD carry.
Okay, that was nice there. I think Zoltar was wanting to use that package, having picked it up for the Drake, and then was disappointed at the fact that they didn't get to use it because they didn't go for the fight. And now, yeah, where are BBS right now? Your base is kind of getting destroyed.
Yeah,
they are going to rotate in.
And the rest of the Lost Nation was just like, oh, we just killed him. Nice ult from SmokeMasterWeed, gonna force them back. No, the front force trauma combo doesn't quite happen. The Qiyana ult doesn't go off. It said they're assassinated by Rickert. Sure, you pick up Play Massive, you pick up Kowal, but you lose on turrets. You don't lose the inhibitor, but Rickert's still alive. Renekton's still alive. Corkie's still alive. These champions can threaten out your base.
Yeah, I mean, you've done okay to pick up the couple of kills, but it's not exactly perfect. You're still fairly down in gold, as now... Okay, so now, okay. In the end, nothing is going to quite happen, but Lost Nation are going to try and deny some of these, some of this jungle away from BBS, and you see here that, yeah, small advantages can build up when teams are kind of taking away these buffs, taking away vision. you know, asserting themselves in areas of the map and looking for other things. And I'm honestly kind of glad the Lost Nation didn't manage to get that inhibitor, because I don't think it would have actually been beneficial for them entirely. So, yeah, all in all, Lost Nation still very much in control.
I mean, they're 6,000 gold in the lead, right? They have 6 turrets compared to 1, and they're even on dragons. There's no world where Lost Nation... Well, this isn't Lost Nation's game to lose, to be honest. 3 items on this Renekton versus Gankplank having a decent amount. 2 in, like, a component. That's not going to build too much towards the next item, though. Jungle as well, Qiyana, more difficult time, especially when you can't land those blunt force trauma combos. The Qiyana ult onto SmokeMasterWeed's wall didn't actually happen in the last fight. It means that Qiyana pick's not going to get quite as much value.
Yeah.
Somebody also struggling.
Yeah, what I will say though is that SmokeMasterWeed now has those 2 items and a stopwatch, and that's now the 3rd item pickup for GG Bond. So I think in terms of those collective items, the jungle mid that we were talking about as this the thing that we really wanted BBS to be using to carry the game essentially is fully online, I think, and could have some sort of devastating powers. GG Bond looking for a trade.
Devastating power. GG Bond gonna get taken out here. Mimi Slime maybe falls though. Some lucky crits and Gankplank gonna take them down. It's a 1-for-1, but the shutdown goes over to SmokeMasterWeed. Nice Emperor's Divide ulting over Rickert. Not quite the range you wanted. Now Alpaka's in the area as well. QmasterQ getting run down. Can you face the bear? Yes, you can. A second shutdown to SmokeMasterWeed. How much more can they get? Thunderbear in the area. Kowal steps up, but this is not the angle you want to be taking. Him and Play Massive will just walk it out. No, will SmokeMasterWeed let them? I don't think so. Another kill. SmokeMasterWeed, I missed you, man. 7, 1, and 7. You should be the one with the Dark Seal in your inventory, and they're gonna get Baron.
Yeah, that is a really bad misstep there from Rickert. I think Mimi Slime obviously as actually the ult comes
Massive.
in, but
I don't think you get to play the game.
No, you don't.
Taken out.
It's delayed for a little bit. The Baron has reset, but you've not done enough damage to dissuade them from going in onto this this Baron. SmokeMasterWeed should be able to shred it pretty quickly, and GG Bond is already in. But yeah, I don't know. Mimi Slime was able to trade 1-for-1 there in what was essentially a 2-for-1 situation, 2v1 situation, which was great. And then Rickert tried to make something of it, and you know, I think realized that they had misstepped, tries to get something out of it, ends up getting shut down, and it's that kind of Constantina effect of the team's a little bit separated and each trying to help the other out, and are arriving as the other dies, and therefore then also get caught out and die, and it's all a bit awkward, and yeah, a little bit messy there.
And now you're facing down the Baron as this dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. All of BBS are in the area. Well, maybe not all. QmasterQ almost sent back to Falcon. SmokeMasterWeed is hungry for blood. The flash, the insect, the wall is so strong, but SmokeMasterWeed is going to be able to Zhonya's. Won't fall in this fight. GG Bond on the backline buying so much time. SmokeMasterWeed still alive. Rickert forced the ult away. Play Massive assassinated by this Qiyana. What can this mid jungle not do? Zoltar saves Alpăka, not quite, but still a shutdown. 700 gold into Qiyana's back pocket, and the sole point for BBS. They are smurfing it.
SmokeMasterWeed is just these Emperor Divides are just so unbelievably good, and it's what I was talking about with the Zhonyas, especially. Once you have enough. Once you have those kind of items that you're going to do a lot of damage with your abilities, and then you can also dive, you know, that deep into the enemy team, and then just immediately Zhonya's and stay safe. It's so devastating and deadly and difficult to deal with. And now, you know, the base is, I mean, it's not going to be quite threatened yet, but it is open pretty much. You know, only a couple of towers, which at this point quite easily destroyed. If Lost Nation misstep again, if they lose one more fight, that is just it for them.
Yeah.
Inhibitor in the mid lane is going to go down.
I think they got like 3 turrets off that push. I said they only had 1 turret on the outside. They got 2 mid, got the inhibitor, and they got the one on the bot side tier 2. That's more gold into Gankplank's pocket. And I thought this was so doomed from early on. But then again, I forgot. It's a Renekton. It's a Volibear. These champions have a lot of early power, but they don't scale quite so well. Zoltar may be the most scaling thing on Lost Nation. Not able to play these fights quite well enough, especially not when SmokeMasterWeed is scooping your entire front line away. Thunder Beetle gonna get caught out here. Rickert maybe overextends though. The ult is down. That's so much burst damage. You might be tanky, but you're gonna have to flash away. The ult coming out. GG Bond able not quite to get Rickert, dodges away. Healing up with that W. I think when the W comes back for GG Bond. Actually, Rickert looking for the assassination. Dash away. GG Bond in a bit of a situation. Rickert trying their hardest to survive, but Mimi Slime teleporting in right now. But you're not quite the same at level 16 as you are at level 6 if you are Renekton. GG Bond just able to heal up on these Raptors. The rest of BBS on the chase. Mimi Slime walking away. GG Bond able to strike with impunity. Now has the 3 items. How much more can they get? Mimi Slime caught out between a rock and a hard place. Dash forwards by Azir, trying to get the healing up. Has the Zhonya's, but that's a wasted stopwatch. Will fall instantly. Another one to SmokeMasterWeed. Rickert still hasn't reset as minions are pouring into the mid lane. Thankfully for Lost Nation, Baron buff is off, but unfortunately that means it's going to spawn in a minute and a half, and I'm sure BBS are going to look towards it.
Yeah, it really does feel like BBS's scaling has just kind of come in. You're right, on the other side is actually Rickert. Is okay. No. Keeps baiting me out with this.
Keeps getting caught a little bit. Does just over the wall though. Will be fine.
But yeah, I think the scaling right now for BBS is just massive. The Gankplank having been so badly just neutered early, now has that Infinity Edge, 4 items complete. Almost a death cap right now for SmokeMasterWeed. We'll see if they're able to
he's got enough money for it.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably done. Yeah, there it is. So you know, the death cap is there and waiting when SmokeMasterWeed bases, and it just feels like sort of on the other side, what you're banking on is this Corkie, which was a really good counter pick, but it just hasn't been able to do, I think, what Lost Nation wanted it to do. Yeah, you're right, it hasn't done enough. I think the front line have essentially been killed too quickly, at which point Zoltar, you know, is dealing some decent damage, but just gets caught out and killed.
Man, they're really aggressive. They're really looking for something onto Thunderbee, who's not the primary carry of this game. GG Bond now looking for something on the backside. The Gankplank ult dash away from Zoltar. This won't be up for the dragon, but there's a lot of damage. Another masterful insect flashed away from though. Zhonya's there for SmokeMasterWeed in a bit of a pickle. Renata ult comes out. No W, no bailout. Shut down over to Rickert, and this is where BBS are routed. Can they make it out? They're running away from this Renekton. They can escape with their peeling tools, but still, SmokeMasterWeed goes for it. The flash from Playmaster keeps them alive. The bullet time keeps them safe, and SmokeMasterWeed ends up falling.
Yeah, they do. It was a little bit awkward. Again, you know, I was literally talking about how, you know, had that death cap ready, you know, sitting and waiting in the base for them, and the Drake hadn't spawned yet. Seemed like a fairly perfect time for you to just relax, base, collect the stuff that you need. You have the gold advantage. You have clearly, you know, the kind of the team fighting advantage, and the scaling is there. But yeah, a little bit overzealous there. Gets caught out.
Speaking of overzealous, Bond is gonna walk into Rickert. Nice immediate use of that cloak. Keeps you out. Playmaster walking forwards. This is a pretty dangerous position. So also for Alpăka, getting auto attack down, flash away. Rickert going forwards. No one except this Azir, or maybe this Gankplank can threaten him. QmasterQ on the flank, flashing away. Goes for the Prowler's Claw. Doesn't assassinate Zoltar. Ticking down. Not quite enough damage, but it does buy enough time for SmokeMasterWeed to make it into the area. Bond has that ultimate display of skill. SmokeMasterWeed has the wall. Rickert looking to start up this dragon, looking for a double soul point teleport here coming in from Zoltar as well. Able to reset, able to get all of their health back. This dragon should go over unless SmokeMasterWeed has something to say about that. Ults fly everywhere. Misfortune on SmokeMasterWeed assassinated. Thunderbee unable to do too much in this fight. Dragon goes over to Lost Nation, and the fight goes over to them as well. 2 dead. How much more can they get off this?
It really is just incredibly back and forth. I don't know. I don't think with QmasterQ going down
as well. SmokeMasterWeed in that fight.
Yeah. I'm questioning whether with QmasterQ getting picked like that, you should really be going for that kind of play, because now. Oh, actually, GG Bond's gonna cheekily take away this inhibitor, but you know, you don't actually necessarily need to contest that one. Lost Nation weren't gonna get the soul out of it.
So I just want to say, Rickert, you played with my heart a little bit there. It was on like double-digit health. While
Yeah, I think it got
the
smite
Gankplank was
to
going
like
down.
34, and then Zoltar managed to pick it up.
Ooh, don't do that
so-
one again, Rickert, please. When the
Yes.
Gankplank ult's on your Baron.
Ah, I see. Yeah, no, the Drake as well. I think was a little bit
It went. They got it. You can't complain.
Yeah,
if they managed to get it.
exactly. Lost Nation
He's
got
well
it,
swapped,
so
he's well
that
swapped.
was all Rickert. Yeah. As we see now, yeah, I think the fact that you tried to fight that one despite it not like you could have potentially won it, but it wasn't going to be the greatest fight that you could have had, and it means that you have once again you've just given the Baron as well as the Drake over, which obviously is just not what you want at all. Zoltar now 5 items, having picked up the GA on Mimi's time as well. Those are some really big item pickups. On the other side, you know, you do. You have actually full build on QmasterQ on this Gankplank, which is going to be very scary, and Gigibond as well, almost full build. But yeah, we're rounding the point now where gold is making very little of a difference because so many of the players are so close to being exactly where they want to be in terms of gold, in terms of items. So it's literally just going to come down to who gets the better fight. In whatever fight comes up next, and like you just can't tell who it's going to be.
Oh no, this might be dangerous. Alpăka with the huge disengage ult gets everyone from BBS out. Nicely done. Stuffs the engage. Very risky plays on that tier 1 turret.
Yeah, a little bit close there, but SmokeMasterWeed, nice. Once again, nice ultimate to be able to dissuade Lost Nation from going any further, but they're going to continue to barrel down as 5, which is a little bit questionable unless they can get some sort of team fight win.
Thunderbee flashes away. That does mean no Stormbringer, but no flash on this Ezreal means he's a little bit more vulnerable. BB1 though on the flash. Flank, Christ. Looking for some, look for the angle, trying to pick off Zoltar, maybe play massive as well. No GA on this Misfortune, but will not find the angle. Instead, the inhibitor will fall, and I expect Lost Nation will back off.
Yeah, but in the end, when you've picked up a Baron, that doesn't seem like that massive of an advantage. It's a bit of a shame to see a Baron get picked up and then see all 5 members barrel down mid lane, and then struggling obviously because your inhibitor's been taken down cheekily by Gigibond, so you're having to kill a super minion with the wave as well, and QmasterQ there and SmokeMasterWeed have a lot of wave clear, and so it took essentially the entire Baron buff to take down an open inhibitor, which doesn't feel like you've really done all that much. You certainly haven't gained any gold.
One thing it does do, though, it gives you much better priority in the mid in a minute and 12 seconds, which is when this double soul point dragon spawns. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a bonanza fight, and I think whoever wins the fight here is in great stead for the rest of the game, or maybe just wins the game outright.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the death times at this point.
Oh,
it's so scary.
Down towards bot lane. Rickert maybe. Oh, it's so scary. It's all on a knife's edge. Both teams looking for something. Massive open SmokeMasterWeed. Zhonya's there from Play Massive Berserk from Rickert. SmokeMasterWeed. Zhonyaing away from that bullet time, showing that you do lose out on your jungle. That's actually pretty big for this dragon. And now the rest are re-engaging. It's a blown. Oh, but it's not going to be enough. Zoltar in the backline finds the shutdown onto Thunderbee, and what looked like a good fight for BBS turns in favor of Lost Nation. QmasterQ, last one alive. Can he defend the base? Members of Lost Nation are barreling down. They want to prove that they were QmasterQ, Gigibond, SmokeMasterWeed wrong to leave. Want to prove that they can choose their champs, choose their mains, do what they want, and they still lose to the power of Lost Nation. That's a pretty big barrel, but it's only onto Kowal. The smite comes down, flash away. Maybe they can't end. There's no Baron here. There's no empowered minions, and Gankplank is pretty damn good. Wave clear, double stack super minions in the mid will mean that the dragon will go over to Lost Nation.
So in the end, the game isn't actually over, but my goodness, I mean, what a crazy fight. I thought for a moment there that BBS had it, but they just don't. I think the Lost Nation have done very well to recognize that immediate initial burst is where a lot of the damage is coming from, and therefore they've just gone GA, and stopwatch on their main carries.
You know what helps with dealing with a lot of burst? A Mountain Soul. that's gonna be so much harder
Yeah,
to just get
Mountain
those
Soul
numbers down.
and 3 individual Mountain Drakes.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a lot of tank stats. A lot of tank stats. And now, man, yeah, Rickert and
Rickert
Mimi
has
Slime as well.
400 armor at the moment.
Yep. that
Against
is-
the primarily physical damage. Of course, there's also SmokeMasterWeed, but
There is.
having the I think it was 200 magic resist as well, plus that shield. This man never getting burst down. Oh no, GG Bond looking for the assassination to play massive, but it's red. Able to get away from Mimi Slime, but that's no kill onto the ADC as both teams posturing around this Baron. I think it's do or die here for BBS. If they can get this, they can certainly look to close out this game. All the fights are on the knife's edge, I can tell you that much. Baron is huge for both these teams.
But it's so impossible that you've got inhibitors down in the mid and the bot lane. So how, they need to get their teleport members over to those lanes because otherwise they're just going to get immediately pushed in.
Speaking of teleport, Mimi Slime does have it. Maybe can look for a cheeky backdoor here as everyone's still sporting up around this Baron.
Yeah, see, BBS are just having to back off because look at the giant stacking wave in the bot lane.
Wow,
But now,
Rickert actually getting baited. No, QmasterQ brought in with the Prowler's Claw, trying to make their way out. That's an unfortunate interaction. Massive Renata, oh, into the middle of 3. Not going to be enough damage. Gankplank will end up falling. SmokeMasterWeed on the side. Thunderbee looking to try and get some damage down. It's 1 for nothing. GG Bond in the area. Oh, connects onto no one. The bullet time. SmokeMasterWeed taking a lot of damage. The teleport here coming in from Mimi Slime. I think this is it. Lost Nation find the fight. They find the damage and they find the victory in this game. Nexus is being destroyed by this Renekton. Who cares what's going on in the fight? It doesn't matter. Mimi Slime finds the win and Lost Nation take it over BBS.